Time CBS political director Eric Dickerson wrote a piece. Wait a minute. Hold on. He wrote a piece in a column urging the president to pulverize and destroy his Republican opponents, even to go for the throat in order to, quote, cement his legacy. Monica Crowley is a radio talk show host, and Kirsten Powers is a Daily Beast columnist. Both are Fox News contributors. John Dickerson, not Eric. That's what threw me. All right, so let's just start with whether you believe that's true. Let me start with you on this, Kirsten. Do you believe that it is true that the president's goal is to divide and conquer the Republicans, the House Republicans, such that they will be defeated, what he views as the more extremist elements will be defeated in the 2014 midterms?
Well, this has been a line actually even preceding the election, that's what he was doing through the whole fiscal cliff debate. And I really don't think during that debate that's what he was doing. I think it was just sort of gravy for him that he was destroying them. And I also think that the Republicans, frankly, are doing a really good job of destroying themselves, and Obama doesn't have to do much. But now looking forward, I think he probably has figured out that it's in his interest to divide them as much as he can. And I don't think that's anything that's unusual among politicians. And when you have people like, you know, CBS's political director writing that that's what he should do, I don't think it's exactly a secret.
What is wrong? Two questions for you, Monica. What is wrong with the Tea Party in the House maintaining their ideological stripes, digging in their heels and saying, no, we're not going to compromise. Our constituents don't want us to compromise. So, And what is wrong with the president saying, fine, now I'm going to try to divide and conquer you, and I'm going to try to convince the American people to vote you out of office and to vote in people who are more moderate.
Right. There's nothing wrong with either one, Megyn. You're exactly right. This is what our political system is based on. It is based on political differences. It's based on the train wreck of ideas and philosophies. That's what makes our republic so healthy and dynamic. The problem is that this president usually talks about a line about wanting to reach across the aisle and work with the other side and engage Republicans, and how he's always, quote, so happy to listen to constructive ideas from the other side. But there's nothing in his history or past pattern of behavior to suggest that he actually does that or wants to do that. And so it's not enough for this president just to defeat his political opponents. And again, this is politics. You don't expect anything other from the president, head of his own party. But it's not enough for him to defeat the Republicans. He wants to demolish them. He wants to smash them. And look, I think Kirsten is right. I agree. He has been very lucky in that he's had, at least over the last year or so, a very weak Republican Party. They seem either unwilling or unable to really take this president on and take on his philosophy and attempt to smash that.
No, they have no one. O'Reilly was talking about this. They have no one to really voice. They have no effective spokesperson who can come out and give, you know, powerful voice to the way they feel. But let me ask you this, Kirsten. He may want to pulverize, in particular, the wing of the Republican Party that, you know, most opposes him. Let's call it the Tea Party faction, whatever it is. But they represent real people who have, you know, true beliefs, and shouldn't they be heard? I mean, why not, as the president, say, I get it, you don't want to compromise, but let's talk. Maybe there's something. Maybe we can find some way. People believe this president is more, you know, in the mode of, I can't do this gesture. Arthur tells me it's an Italian swear, but, you know, finger in the eye.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Look, I mean, I just don't agree that I mean, it's true they represent some people, but they are not the mainstream of this country, even remotely. And this is a result of gerrymandering in districts, is that you have people who want to please the people that voted for them. Okay, understandable. You want to get reelected. But there's a separate issue of, can the Republican Party be a strong national party? And if they're going to be a strong national party, they're going to have to figure this problem out, because I'm sorry, they're just completely out of touch with reality. They can't even vote for a tax increase for people who make over $1 million, you know, and then they end up with something that's even worse by their standards. They're too disorganized. They are not in step with the rest of the country. And you know, I'll get lots of nasty tweets about how I'm wrong about this, and if people don't believe me, fine. But I'm just telling you, they're not going to be a serious national party unless they figure this out. And they don't need Obama to destroy them. I mean, they're destroying themselves.
I don't think that the Republicans, I mean, what Obama means is go along with me, give up your core principles, and just concede everything that I want and everything the left wants and everything the Democrats want. That's not constructive, and that's not the road that the Republicans either should go on or want to go on. But I do think that the Republican Party, by and large, needs to refocus on its core principles of limited government and fiscal responsibility, economic freedom, individual liberty, strong national defense, because I do think that's where most of the American people are.
But you hear that.
President
You hear
Obama's
that to
re-election
some extent from them, Monica. You hear that to some extent from them, but then you hear from the other side that they are being, obstinate, and they get mocked, like Kirsten just did, for not wanting to raise taxes on millionaires. They say, look, we just don't believe that we have a revenue problem. We believe that we have a spending problem. It's a philosophical divide that is, I think, sincere, but which they get mocked for, and then there's no progress.
Yeah, and you know what, Megyn, they've lost their way on this. They haven't had a clear focus message on those core principles, and you're also right to point they haven't had a charismatic messenger, a happy warrior, to sell this back to the American people, saying this is what not just made America great, but made us a good power, and we need to get back to it.
Kirsten, last word.
No, the whole tax thing is crazy. It's like this orthodoxy now that you can never, ever raise taxes. It's crazy. It used to be that we believed in a progressive tax system and that, when you go to war, you would raise taxes to pay for it. I just think the Republican Party has to come to terms with the fact that this is not within the mainstream of America. Even when they did polling on exit polling in 2010, the majority of the people, it was a conservative electorate, said raise taxes on the wealthy. Whether you agree with that substantially or not, I'm just telling you that that's
so
what the country is.
They just did, Kirsten, and
they raised taxes on everybody.
They kicked and screamed.
A lot of people were surprised
way.
to find out that it wasn't just the rich. I mean, people are still complaining about the fact that
that's right.
They lost, a nice chunk of their paycheck. A lot of folks around here that we won't even look. We don't want to look at our paychecks. Like that, you don't even want to know how much has come out. And it's not just the rich folks, but in any event, that's a debate for another day. Ladies, thanks both so much.
Pleasure. Thanks.
Thank you.